In this week's Complaint Corner, Infinity War, Mega Man, and some other shit. This is Critically Complained. Hi, I'm Adam, and this is Steve, and first we are talking Infinity War. Of course, I don't remember if I said this in the show last week or not, but I talked to Steve about it. I knew there was an Infinity War trailer coming out, and I was really upset about the day it came out because it came out the day after we recorded the show, which meant that now we have to talk about it like way later than anybody else is talking about it. But fuck it, who gives a shit? I want to talk about it anyway.
Especially since you were right about basically everything, or at least it's what the trailer seemed to imply.
Oh yeah. I was so fucking right about Loki. Loki has the Tesseract. Yes, I was fucking right. I mean, I know other people made that prediction as well. I'm not the only one, but I fucking thought it on my own without anyone telling me to think it, and I was right, and I feel good about myself.
Also, I'm pretty sure, based on this trailer, Tony's definitely going to be the one to die, because he's looking real tired.
Oh, yeah. I was also right about that. I told you it was going to be Tony. I knew it.
Why can't they all just
about
die?
That, but, I mean, they can. Actually, I'm a little bit worried that what they're going to do is have this one be like they fucking all die and everything goes to shit, and then Doctor Strange does some time thing to make everything like reset at the end. I really hope they don't do that because that is cheap as hell.
Well, I mean,
I don't want that
at all. You would have to still have the time stone, and I thought the implication of this movie was we were going to watch Thanos systematically collect them all and kick ass. So
yeah,
I don't think that's what they could do. What would be an ultimate dick move is that they could have this half of the movie where everybody dies, and then wait till the next movie for them to resolve it, and be like, oh, never mind, they're not actually dead. They just got teleported away by death or something.
I would hate that so much. But there are a couple, I really liked the trailer. The trailer was awesome. Can we agree? The trailer was great. It was a good trailer.
It was exciting to finally see all those people like the Guardians, just kind of show up. Even for like a second, it's like, oh, there they are. Connected universe. Here it is.
I really liked the way they did the Guardians at the end there. Because that's what everyone's excited about, and I'm glad they had that little stinger at the end. I actually think that would have been a better after credits scene than the one that they did in Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
With, where the ship showed up. I think it would have been way better if you see like a beat up looking Thor just be like, who the hell are you guys? And then you see the Guardian. That would have been so awesome.
True.
Like I would have lost my shit if I had seen that at the end of Thor, but whatever.
But oh well. We got what we got.
I was trying to say before, but it was a great trailer. I think everyone can agree that it was a good trailer, but there are a couple things that I don't like, and I want to talk about them. I don't like the visual designs of several of the characters.
Well, I can take a crack at who the first one probably is.
Is it
Thanos?
Yeah, it's Thanos.
He looks so not
weird
threatening now.
He looks so weird. Like he's like Thanos just walking up wearing like a weird looking wife beater. What the fuck?
Yeah,
like I don't like it.
It's not even like it's the first time we're seeing him. He was in other movies, being cooler
and he
looking.
he had like the cool armor on, and like I read online that apparently the directors of this movie decided that they didn't want to have him wear the armor because they wanted the idea that he was threatening without being threatening.
Well, they fucked that one up because he's not threatening looking at all.
But yeah, I just don't. I liked everything else about Thanos. I loved seeing him put the stone in the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
I loved his line about how what was it? One doesn't think about fun when resetting the universe, but this does put a smile on my face. Like, that was awesome. That was a great line. I loved that. But sorry, his visual design is dumb and lame, and it just looks boring.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between Ron Perlman and one of those singing raisins from the California Raisins commercials.
See, what I'm hoping is that he is going to get to the armor. Like, maybe once he collects all the stones, then he'll, like, go into, Ultra mode. He'll go Super Saiyan and put the armor on. Like, I hope that he wears the armor at some point.
Me too.
I don't want him wearing a goddamn wife beater the whole movie. Like, that's really boring. Oh, my God. And while we're at it, other things
Maybe it was in the laundry. Maybe it was, like, wash day for him.
I acknowledge that this is more of a me thing than anybody else. Like, I know that people like this, but I don't like the Spider-Man suit. I don't like it at all. Not even a little bit. I think it looks stupid. I think
The
it
new
looks too
one?
Iron.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't like it.
it's really try hard. I don't like it either.
It's really try hard. It looks too Iron Man-y, and like his other suit, like the suit that we know, looks so damn good to me that like I have zero in. I hate the new suit. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
like it
no,
at all.
the one from the other movie, the not hoodie one, that was perfectly
Yeah.
fine the way it was. That was
It was amazing. I love his suit. I love it, and I hate this new one. And I had that exact reaction when I saw Spider-Man: Homecoming. Like at the end, when you see the like, here's this other suit. I was just like, I don't like that. And when he rejected it, I was like, good job, Spidey.
Thank God.
No, don't wear that. That looks dumb.
yeah.
Like,
Plus, I don't know
fuck
why they're
that
trying
shit.
to push it now because they already missed the boat on the whole Iron Spider thing. That was the Civil War
Yeah.
thing that they just didn't do.
Yeah.
So they could have just ignored it entirely. You know, they could have just let that one go and not
I
have
just
done
don't
it.
like it. I don't understand why everyone likes it. Like I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh man, he looks so cool." He looks stupid and overly designed.
Yeah, not a fan.
Like I just don't like it. And also, other character, I do like Captain America with the beard. I like that.
Yep.
Uh
You know what's weird? Okay, well, for a second. You know what's interesting about
go
these
ahead.
movies is they're kind of slowly phasing out everybody's headgear. You know?
Actually, interestingly, it seems like they're trying to phase out everyone's original look. Like, everyone looks a little bit different than the way you expect them to look. Thor has an eye patch, and his hair's cut short, and he doesn't have his helmet anymore. Captain America doesn't have a shield, his star and his chest is missing, and he's got a fucking beard. Spider-Man looks like Iron Man.
Yeah. Iron Man has a slightly different interpretation of his regular getup, but he does in every movie, so...
Yeah. That doesn't bother me too much. I still think that the best Iron Man suit is the very first one. So
The one from the cave?
Yeah. No. Oh, sorry. No, not that one. I mean like I guess
Mark
technically
II.
the third one. No, not Mark II is a silver one. The Mark III
Okay, yeah, the Mark
is the one that he wears to the majority of the first Iron Man. I love that suit. I think it looks amazing.
Speaking of Iron Man suits, Hulkbuster coming out. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I liked the Hulkbuster too. That was
That was
alright.
in that trailer though. That's cool.
Oh, and this is me being nitpicky again, but I didn't like Black Widow's hair.
Yeah, I'm
It
sure
was
there's a
super
story reason
dumb.
for that, but I don't know why.
Like why with the platinum blonde short hair? Like
Is she in
I
disguise?
just have her have red hair like she's always had. Like why is this so fucking complicated?
My
God
original
damn
thought
it.
was, okay, so she's undercover or in disguise or something, you know, on the lam. But then I thought, wait a minute, they've actually shown in Captain America 2 that they literally have face-changing cloaking technology,
yeah,
like it's
it's
fucking Metal Gear Solid or something. So like they don't need to dye her hair. So I don't wonder what the reason for that is.
Yeah, I just also like this is such a stupid thing, and like don't get me wrong, you know Scarlett Johansson is a pretty woman, but when her eyebrows are platinum blonde, I can't see them anymore, and it looks dumb. like I'm sorry, I know this is such a stupid thing to complain about, but like it bothered me when I was watching the trailer. Like I thought about it the second I saw her, I was just like, oh what the fuck, like oh what that looks weird as hell. Like I just whatever. Everything else, gold star of approval.
Yeah, he was pretty kick-ass.
Doctor Strange looked great. I'm surprised that Wong is in the movie. I didn't really expect
I don't know
that.
if he's gonna be there long though. I think they're
kind
gonna have
of
something for him to
don't-
do outside. I don't think he's gonna be part of the fight. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I kind of hope not, because like I know, like I like Wong enough. Like I think he was fine in Doctor Strange, but like I don't really want him fighting with the rest. He's not an Avenger, okay?
No.
Like
No.
sorry, whoever that actor is. I have nothing against you personally, but you're not an Avenger. Don't fight with the Avengers. like
Yeah, basically.
You're taking away screen time from other people who I care a hell of a lot more about. Like whatever.
I mean, there's like all those Wakandans too. Are you gonna throw shit at all the Wakandans?
I know, I get. Well, I mean, I don't need them in it. If they weren't in it, I wouldn't be upset. So, Nah. I can't really judge the Wakandans yet because I haven't seen Black Panther, so I don't really know anything about them at all, you know what I mean? Like, for all I know, they're not even going to have speaking lines. But I feel like since Wong is in this and he's a somewhat established character, he's going to talk a few
Well, I'm
times.
sure he will too, but I'm sure it's just going to be expositional. He's going to say, like, oh, well, you're...
Something Infinity Stone.
Yeah, well, you're Sorcerer Supreme pro bono or whatever, so get out there and defend the Sanctorum, because I can't do it. I'll be here in the library. Good luck, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Or something like that.
Maybe he'll die. Maybe he'll die again.
I don't think they're going to kill him off. I don't think there'd be anything in it for them to do that. I mean...
Yeah.
Basically, I think what his purpose is now is to have something for Doctor Strange to talk to.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Because it kind of feels
also,
like all the wizards disappeared from that movie after Doctor Strange was there.
I feel like I'm complaining too much. I really, really liked this trailer. Like, I was pumped about this trailer after I saw it for, like, days. I loved it so much. But I'm being super nitpicky. I wanted to see Ant-Man. Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Where was he?
Like literally, he was the only one. He was the only major Avenger who you never saw at all. We got the Guardians at the end there.
Maybe he was on somebody's shoulder.
Else. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, haha, yeah, maybe he was just there. Also, I absolutely loved the and get this man a shield. I love it, like, oh man, I nerded out. The trailer, I thought, like, writing wise, like the actual lines were all really solid. I really liked the like rehearsal of the Nick Fury line in the beginning. I loved all of Thanos basically talking trash. I loved everything. I really, really like this trailer. I just have a few things that bothered me. Do you have anything? I don't really know what else to say about it.
I mean, it was a good trailer.
Fucking awesome. It was good. It was very good. Keep it up. Keep it up. Oh God, I'm so excited.
Hopefully
for that
the movie's that good.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so we're moving on. In news that should surprise absolutely nobody if you're paying any attention whatsoever, Stranger Things has been renewed for a third season.
Who would have thought?
What? It's only like Netflix's biggest show right now. Like, what? Oh my God. I can't believe it. No, but really, I think we can both agree that Stranger Things is good.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's good. And
my question is, who's going to be the villain now?
Well, I mean,
they didn't really leave it open.
Kill it.
Why don't
they didn't kill it?
Why don't
it was
they
still
kill
there.
It? But like at the end of the first one, you know, we have like actual physical, like evidence. I don't want to say that's not the right word, but he threw up in the sink and there was a little baby Demogorgon in there. Yeah, which kind of left it over for, okay, there's definitely a thing coming. And, like, yeah, it's still there.
Well, this one,
in
like
Underdark, but it's not there in whatever that town's called. I don't know.
I'm sure they can make it work.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to have to. But it just seems like we've exhausted our, you know, second season kind of wrapped it up nicely. You know, she closed the portal, the big space vagina for good.
But it was still there. It was still
but
there,
it's
and
over on the other side of the wall.
It was like looking at them. It was, you know, it wasn't done. It hadn't given up yet. It was just like, you know, we beat it this time, but it's still out there.
I'm just wondering how it's going to get back.
All you gotta do is just like have another portal open, have some sort of shenanigans.
But I mean, like all the scientists are dead, all of them. So who's going to open the?
But what if other scientists do it? What if the scientists
are part
of a
in
larger
the same town?
No. Well, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
It just seems weird. And also, what D&D monster are they going to use to represent the bad guy? That's what I wanted to know.
Well, yeah,
although I'm putting money on it right now, Beholder. Beholder.
Okay,
check it out.
I'll try to remember that in the future. If they ever mention the Beholder, I'll be like, Steve said Beholder. Okay. I don't really know what else to say. I like Stranger Things, and I'm glad it got a third season. I'm not surprised in any way. Yeah. Apparently, the writers of the show were planning on having 4 seasons. Like, they want it to end at 4 seasons. And if they stick to that, I will be very happy. I really hope that Netflix doesn't just throw them money and say, keep it going. Like,
yeah, I want. This is one of those things where I really want it to have an end point, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's only good when it's finished, and I know it's finished.
The only thing I think that they might be able to do is have like a sequel that's like set in the future, like way later. Maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that, I guess, but it had to be way in the future. Like, I don't want it to be
Yeah.
like 3 years later. I want it to be like,
Oh no, I'm
yeah,
talking like 20
yeah,
some
all
years.
grown up
Like,
version.
yeah.
Actually, shit, you know what?
The,
They don't even need a monster in the third one because they got that other girl running around with superpowers, and they can probably just do something with that. I'm sure we'll hear from her again.
Yeah, you could do some. I hate her so
Yeah, me
much,
too.
but yes, you can do something with that. And there could potentially be more of them. Like we know about 8 and we know about 11, but there could be others.
I mean, they were
like
the only ones shown in the flashback in the little room there.
That's
but
true.
That's true.
That's true.
They dug themselves a nice little safety den with all those other numbers we haven't used yet. So I can't wait to see all the X-Men that they have.
I'd be really surprised if we never find out about any of the other numbers. Like I'm guessing a few of them are dead.
Well, I kind of
like,
thought that was the implication. Like, oh yeah, everybody died but these two. You know, at least I thought that was the point.
Maybe I don't know.
Although again, I thought
think
they all died but 11.
I think they intentionally left it ambiguous so they can like throw in another one if they feel like it. You know, I don't know.
Actually, hang on a minute. While we're talking about it, this thought just occurred to me while you were saying that. Maybe I missed it during the show, but. Okay, so this was like a super soldier thing, right? They were training the kids with the psychic powers or whatever,
Basically, yeah?
Okay,
yeah.
And they had 11 stuck in the jar to do the psychic thing, right? So she could go to the Underdark?
Yes.
But that wasn't their original goal, right?
I don't think so.
Because,
I mean, I don't really
see, that's what's
know.
confusing, because the other girl with the illusion powers can fuck with your head, but she can't go to the Underdark, as far as we know anyway.
Upside down, by the way. Sorry, it's
okay. I was actually using the
down.
proper nomenclature. Sorry, my mistake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it in D&D?
Yes.
I didn't.
Sorry,
know that.
I don't know why I did that. That wasn't me being pedantic. I just actually did forget what it was called. But
okay.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't know. I was just going purely off the show.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway,
my bad.
Continue.
Anyway,
go ahead.
So I'm wondering, like, did they decide to put her in the jug to rip the portal and contact the Upside Down before or after they found out that she could do that? Like, I'm wondering if
I don't know.
Or if they shifted
have
gears
no
to
idea.
do that, or if
I would really like to know more about what the scientists were trying to do and why. Like there's so much that's left vague, and I'm like, okay, like, but what?
Well, I
like,
would
what was
say
their...
be explained in the third one, but they're all dead, so probably not.
No, not all of them. There's the one that's left over who gave Hopper 11's like birth certificate or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah, you're right. Forgot about that guy.
He's still alive.
Well,
he can explain a few things.
Hopefully he makes a video documentary or something that somebody finds, and they play it on Betamax or whatever video format they had back in the 80s.
Yeah. Did they have VHS?
They must
I'm
have.
not even
sure.
sure.
Must have, right?
I think they must have. Anyway, we're moving on.
Wow.
We're moving on.
Wow.
Well,
now I'm going to wonder if they
else?
did.
I'm sure we could find it out pretty easily. I'm sure they did. They must have. They did. They totally did. Just accept it. Don't bother. This is a waste of our time.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just keep going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So in other news, and this is probably my favorite bit of news today, because I just think it's so bizarre. And here we go. So Margot Robbie, who you should know who that is. Not just you, Steve, just people in general. Obviously, she played Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad, reveals that she has been working on another Harley Quinn film for the past 2 years. Now, just to make sure this is clear, this is a Harley Quinn solo film that is being made while they're also making a Joker and Harley Quinn team-up film, like duo film, while they're also making a Suicide Squad 2, which she is presumably included in, while they're also making a Gotham City Sirens film, which she is also in. Is that it? I think that... Oh, and they're also making that the animated series we talked about, like I think last week.
Yes, the adult-oriented.
The adult-oriented animated series that is probably going to star her. Look, I like Harley Quinn well enough, and I think she plays a good Harley Quinn, but sometimes can be a thing as too much, and I think this is passing that boundary.
Yeah.
Whoa, let's calm the fuck down here, guys. Most people didn't even like Suicide Squad. And now you're making 5 different things relating to this one character from Suicide Squad?
Well, okay, first of all,
down.
They do that because criticism is easier to deal with if it's thinly spread. If every movie sucks, then it's just a little bit of criticism for all of them, instead of just concentrated on one thing really heavily, so it makes it hurt less. Also,
I
VHSs were
guess.
coming to America in 1977. I googled it.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Great. I'm glad we solved that. So yeah, they totally had VHSs then.
All right,
Great.
but yeah,
Okay.
back to Harley Quinn. Like, calm down. Like, that's a lot of
Yeah,
movies.
it's just like holy shit, that is so many. Like, so that's live action. There's four. There's four different movies that are gonna have Harley Quinn in them, and including not even including the one we already have.
Right.
And
You know,
I just like, whoa, calm, please don't do this. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's make Suicide Squad 2. Let's see how that pans out. And then if you really want, you can make it the Joker Harley Quinn movie. That's those two things I think are fine. You can do that. Everything else I think you should kind of save for later and
really later,
like way
forever
later.
later. Perpetually.
Figure out if you want to do more with Harley Quinn after you make more movies with her that don't suck.
Yeah, basically, I think what you should be
Like,
focusing on is making the movies that are good, and then try using the ones that are not maybe as good.
I really DC's whole like crazy weirdness really makes me appreciate the MCU even more. Like I was thinking about this when I was watching the Infinity War trailer and how like I am so fucking excited for Infinity War. This has been like 10 years in the making and like this has been their end goal practically from the beginning. At least from the first Avengers. This is what they were building to. And I can't help but compare it to DC and how they have no plan. They're just kind of throwing everything at a wall and seeing what sticks.
All right, basically, this is what it boils down to, Adam. Marvel is the Mario, and DC is the Sonic. Just
yes!
desperately clinging to anything that they think works, following any sort of parade of success that they can just try to tag onto and suckle from the teat from. It just it's
sad.
It's wild floundering. It's really sad to watch. It was funny at first, but now you just feel bad for them.
Yeah, like it's gotten to the point where I don't even like making fun of DC anymore. Like I don't even want to. I would love to be here to like sit here and be like, but at least it all paid off with Justice League, but it didn't at all.
But like
god damn it. Like
Justice League was like a stall than an actual success. They just bought themselves another couple years.
Yeah, like Justice League was lukewarm at best. Like it was
again,
just
like Sonic,
whatever.
the Sonic Mania or whatever we had a while ago. People liked that one a lot, and then they proceeded to make that one with the fursonas in it, where you could pretend to be Sonic's best friend while you use your green fox person to play the game.
Stop talking, please. I don't want I don't want to hear any more about the ridiculousness of Sonic. God. Anyway, DC but specifically Margot Robbie, or whatever, Harley Quinn film, a solo Harley Quinn movie. I don't see the point. I just don't. I'm sorry, guys. I like, what are we doing? What's the point of it?
Yeah,
like,
actually,
if you're already
that raises an important question, actually, because in order to make her the spin-off subject, somebody over at DC, or I suppose probably a bunch of people, had to look at that and say, okay, which one of these people do we want to spin off into our own series of things? And they decided to do that multiple times. So I'm wondering what part of like her one movie we had of her that people were not that thrilled about. I'm wondering like where the decision process happened, where they were like, okay, this person needs their spin-off because X. What was X?
I think I could tell you. I think I know what it is.
What was that?
Halloween costume sales. I think
that is a really niche thing they're trying to hit with those sales.
I'm not saying that that's like the only thing that matters, but I mean, like, her character was popular. Like,
no, I mean, all right, I guess
Suicide Squad is pretty much a trash film. Okay.
Yeah.
But the two things in it that I liked were Harley Quinn and Deadshot. That was it.
Fair enough.
Those were the things that I liked.
And it's super easy to cosplay as Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
So
all you have to do is just, wear a really tight shirt that accentuates your womanly things, and wear a bunch of makeup and have a bat, and you're done.
basically,
There you go, everybody. You win Halloween, and I don't know. I feel like they like I was saying before, where they're just throwing things at a wall. They made Suicide Squad with all of these villains all at once, so they could just kind of see what worked, and people liked Harley Quinn, and so it's like, all right, make 4 spin-offs with her. All right,
I mean,
that'll
okay,
work.
that makes sense from a cold calculating perspective, I suppose. I guess I could see them doing that. Not in a human sort of, like feelings sort of way, but in a computer producing sort of way. I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But seriously, think about this. What would a Harley Quinn solo film be about?
You got me,
okay,
man. I have no idea.
It's one thing if you're telling her origin story, that could work, but I don't think they are.
No.
I mean, maybe they are, but I doubt that highly.
Okay,
I
but
think
that would
it's going to
basically
be a
mean
sequel.
The origin story of Harley Quinn is she's a doctor that works at Arkham until Joker comes in, and then she gets nuts, and that's the end of the film, basically.
Well, yeah.
She didn't have a tragic
like
backstory of like, oh, her parents were killed by Harlequin Jokers or something. She's just like, oh, I just really want to get on this clown's dick.
I don't agree with you. I think you could totally make a film out of that. Like, you could have it be like this psychological thing, like where you could kind of see Joker worming her way
Adam,
into her
that means
mind.
we'd be stuck with Joker again for probably even longer this time.
Well,
watching
yeah.
him doing his thing, talking at her.
Look,
and I don't want that for humanity.
Like
I don't know about you, Adam.
I don't like Jared Leto as the Joker either, but I'd rather get more of a Joker I don't like that actually makes sense in a film that like is cohesive and tells a story. Like, I'm okay with a less than perfect Joker if like he actually plays a significant role in the story that makes sense, not just kind of thrown in like he was in Suicide Squad. You could have made that entire film without him in it at all.
Yes, you could have, and yet they did not.
Anyway, I don't like this idea.
No, this is silly. This is a silly thing to do.
I think it's silly, and I think that.
Like
I think that after all of their failures, they shouldn't be focusing on this kind of stuff. Like, just try to get the main characters right. Like, I want a Flash movie, I want an Aquaman movie, I want a Batman movie, I want maybe another Suicide Squad movie that's actually good. Maybe. Like, just get some basics. I just need a basic world building for this universe, and they can't even handle that. Like, that.
Yeah, they're not. They haven't even built the foundation yet, and they're already trying to hang like the ornate chandeliers and shit. You know?
Exactly. It's exactly the point. Like, you couldn't have started the MCU with the like 3rd film being Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it wouldn't have worked.
Nope.
Like, it would have been like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Like, who are these people? Where's Iron
Stone?
Man?
What's going
Where's
on?
Captain America? Where's Captain America? Where's Thor? Where's Ant-Man? I don't care about these jack-offs. And that's the problem with Suicide Squad.
Basically, yes. Except at no point during that film's runtime would it have been acceptable to put Suicide Squad in, because it would have sucked anyway. But I see what your point is. But what I'm kind of what I think is funny is every once in a while for like a couple of months there'll be like an actor that's just in everything, like remember when Zach Galifianakis was in everything?
I do remember that. I was thinking about that earlier.
This kind of feels like they're trying to do that in one fell swoop.
Just have Margot Robbie
their
be in
own
everything.
Continuity. Instead of just having that actress play a bunch of parts, they're just gonna book her for the next 10 things and just, wring every ounce of actressness out of her.
Squeeze her.
Yeah, like it's some
like
sort
a
of sustainable fuel they could just drip out of her.
Yeah, get all the financial possibility just wrung out. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're moving on now because I don't think there's anything more to say about this we haven't said. So, this was a weird story. So Quentin Tarantino might, this is not confirmed, but might direct a Star Trek movie. Just let that
That is a
sink in
weird
for a
fit.
sec. It's such a weird thing. Like I love Quentin
Eh,
Tarantino as a director. I have most of his
eh.
films. Like I really really like him. I have not seen a film by him that I didn't love. Like I'm a huge Tarantino
All
fan.
right.
That being said, I don't really understand why he would go for Star Trek. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
all right.
know. It
I
feels like
don't
a
I don't
weird
remember
fit to
I
me.
don't remember if I've said this on the show or not before, but I guess I will because it bears repeating. I'm not a Tarantino fan. I'm
You have talked
yeah.
about this once or
I don't
twice,
remember,
but
but I'm
it's
I'm
alright.
trying to picture his style as like a Star Trek movie. You know how Star Trek's usually kind of campy, you know?
Yeah.
He can't do
Yeah.
campy.
No,
All
he
he can
can't.
do is like
I guess Django
childhood counseling
Unchained.
sort of.
Django Unchained is a little
Django
campy.
Chain is not campy. It's
Okay,
not campy. It's not
I'm
Adam.
trying.
It's
It's zany and
I,
fun.
all right. I'll
It's
give you
also about
zany. I don't know if fun
it's
is the word I would
zany.
use either, but whatever. The point is that they're inherently non-gruesome. Just as like they're like the.
Yeah.
It's like if you
Yeah,
took
that's true.
the tiny amount of violence that occurs in Star Wars and you just cranked it down a bit. That's where Star Trek lives. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
it's all about like
even in the
it's
modern
about
movies, nothing really violent actually ever happens. You know,
not
especially in the
really.
old series, nothing ever bad ever. Nobody like exploded. It was always just like phaser shots that stun.
Yeah.
You know,
And like they have like a slow, drawn out death scene that lasts
yeah.
like 10 minutes.
Or
Like yeah,
worst case scenario, somebody explodes off screen in like a ship bombing or something. But like,
yeah, sure.
yeah, but Quentin Tarantino, the sick, diseased man that he is, would find some way to have Captain Kirk like stick his phaser inside of somebody's asshole and then fire it, and then instead of it would just like tear them apart from the inside. Then you'd see like their throat glow, and then a phaser beam would shoot out of it, and and then Sam Jackson would come out dressed as Spock and tell someone to suck his dick or something, and I just like it can't be done. I know it's not confirmed, but like I don't see any reality where that could not be the most ridiculous
So
thing. Unless it was a
apparently
parody,
the
in
way
which case I'm all about it.
apparently the way this worked is that okay, again, none of this is confirmed. Anyway, apparently the way this worked is that Tarantino came up with a really great quote great idea for a Star Trek film. So he went to J.J. Abrams and he was just like, "Hey, I have this idea." And J.J. Abrams liked it, and so now they're trying to get a script together. Like they're getting writers, and they're trying to build a writers' room to, get it going. And then Tarantino might direct it if everything works. If it all schedules align and
Right,
all that
sure,
jazz.
sure.
Uh, and I don't know with the whole thing. I I don't know. Star Trek. Okay, what you're talking about with the whole like you don't like Tarantino. I gotta be honest, and I feel a little bit of shame in saying this, but I've never really liked Star Trek. Not really. I appreciate Star Trek on
Which
like a
Star Trek
certain
though?
level. I mean, I've tried watching the original one. I've tried watching Next Generation. I tried a little bit of Deep Space Nine. I just couldn't get into it.
Really?
The what I saw the most of was Next Generation, but it just was so like I like the characters and some of the stories were really good, but like I was just bored. Like I had no reason to continue watching it. You know what I mean? I guess it's kind of the idea that like I like TV series that have a overarching plot, and Star Trek never
No,
has
it doesn't
that.
have
Like,
that.
well, almost.
It's
never.
got
Like
reoccurring
it's
characters.
almost
That's about as
always.
far as it gets.
Yeah, like with Star Trek, it's almost always completely episodic, with like a
A few
few
exceptions.
exceptions. And like I just that kind of stuff just kind of bores me after a while. I,
All
I
right.
don't really like episodic things in general, so that's a me thing. I acknowledge that Star Trek is good. Like I know intellectually it is good. I just don't really like it personally. Like it just doesn't interest me very
Yeah,
much.
that's fine.
That being said, I really liked Quentin Tarantino, so to try to combine those two has me slightly intrigued because it's like, hey, maybe he could make Star Trek interesting to me.
See, that's actually an
Maybe.
interesting point of view because you like half the equation and I like half the equation, but if they came together, they'd equal different things for us.
Yeah.
Because for you, it'd be a director you like making something you don't like interesting, but for me, it'd be a director I don't like ruining a thing that I do like.
Yeah, basically.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, hey man, you don't have to like Star Trek. It's just that
I feel so bad because it's like I'm a nerd and I love
okay, well,
science
all right, well,
fiction.
let's get real here. Like Star Trek sucks. The original one is dog shit. Anyone who likes the regular Star Trek, it's nostalgia only. But Next Generation's actually unironically good. So that's,
Well, good. I should give it another shot. It's such a huge time commitment, and it's just like
yeah, it's got like 12 seasons or something. It's a long time.
Okay, so I don't know. I feel weird about this. I think we're gonna talk more about this once we know more about it. If
yeah,
it
this
actually
comes
is
to
gonna
anything,
happen.
we should talk about it again.
Yeah, we'll talk about it again. But right now, there's just so little to say about it because we know so little. It's all like he has an idea. We don't know anything else about it. like okay, all right.
Mean,
we don't even know if he's actually gonna direct it or not.
Shit, I got an idea for a Star Trek movie too. Put me on the job.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
are you a
Khan
director?
comes up on the screen, right, and then William Shatner is there because we're gonna bring William Shatner back to reprise his role, and then he's gonna start quoting the Bible like the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the villainy of evil men or whatever that shit Sam Jackson was saying.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on, and now we're getting to video game news. Yay! So Mega Man had its 30th anniversary over the past week, and as a part of that, they had like this big to-do about it, and they announced a couple of things, but the big one, probably the biggest one, is that Mega Man 11 was announced. It's going to be a 2.5D side-scrolling Mega Man video game, and I saw the trailer for it. It looks just like Mega Man with a fresh coat of paint. Basically. And I'm super cool with that. I played Mega Man when I was a kid. Like that was I was never good at it.
Oh no, but I'm the worst at Mega Man. I have beaten a couple, but I'll be honest, it was only because of that save feature that the DS has. I wasn't actually good enough to get there and beat the bosses on my own. I basically just saved in front of all the bosses and just threw myself at them until I won.
That's exactly what I did. And I will even say that I only really beat a couple of bosses. Not even the whole game.
No, just a couple bosses.
Just like 3 bosses. Because like I got to this one boss and it was really hard and I stopped playing and then I hadn't picked it up again.
You were stuck on?
I think it was Mega Man X, like the first one. Isn't that wait, is that maybe? Which is the one that's like everyone loves
Mega Man X.
And it's like yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's the one, because that was the one I played when I was a kid. So then I bought it on like the virtual store on my Wii U, and I was like,
about
okay.
The original Mega Mans. I was playing those ones. I've never played X. I should get around to that someday, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But this was not Mega Man X. This was Mega Man 11. So classic Mega Man, not Mega Man X. Yeah. So no wall jumps or air dashes in this one, and no Zero.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Mega Man X, they also announced that all of the Mega Man X games, all 8 of them, are coming to the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So that's just all the consoles.
Yeah,
all of the current
dope,
consoles
honestly.
Are getting all of the Mega Man X games. That's fucking awesome.
If that's like a bundle, I'm probably gonna get that because
dude, if that's a bundle, I'm gonna jump on that shit. Like I'm all about that. That sounds awesome. And Mega Man 11, I really hope is good. Like I don't want another Mighty Number 9.
Yeah,
situation.
Actually, I was thinking about that the whole time because it kind of looks like Mighty Number 9, like art wise, you know. Maybe I hope they weren't trying to replicate that, but. It's just kind of like...
Well, you do know that that's what Mighty Number 9 is, right?
I know,
it's just like a Mega
but
Man,
that's just it, right? Because Mighty Number 9 was supposed to be the successor to Mega Man we never got, and it was supposed to fill that gap in everyone's life, you know? But it sucked, and now we have an actual sequel that hopefully doesn't. You know, it's just kind of weird that like the spiritual successor might have actually influenced the creation of the actual successor, not because of the success of the successor, but because it was shit and they needed to, they can afford to put out a good one now, I guess. You know
I really hope that they don't fuck this up. I also am worried about.
These are actual Capcom people, right? This is like a real team putting this thing together.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not worried.
I mean, I don't know the exact.
I'm not worried. I think it'll be all right.
You think so?
Yeah, as long as they don't,
so.
Fuck with the formula too much, because it's regular Mega Man, not Mega Man X. There's not a whole lot of need to innovate. It's just jump and shoot, you know. It shouldn't be that hard to fuck it up, but They
It really shouldn't be. Like I don't know why it's a very simple game. I don't know what the big deal is. Just have a bunch of bosses. Have every time you beat a boss, you get a brand new power that's all cool and whatever. Like it's not hard. like you
well,
can
it
do
wasn't
it.
it wasn't the Mega Mans that they fucked up, and it wasn't even really Mega Man X. It's just that they got stale, because it's
Yeah, I guess
basically
that's
that
true.
every time, with few
Yeah,
innovations, and they kind
yeah,
of
definitely.
ran out of elements to form the bosses after, like Centaur Man. Come on.
Yeah, actually, I'm a little bit worried about this one. Like, what the fuck are the bosses even gonna
Well, it's
be?
been
I saw
years.
one
I'm
of
sure
them.
they can,
I saw one of them in the trailer that it was like a drill looking thing. I
I don't think they did that one
I
yet.
Yeah,
So
which
there you
is
go.
interesting. Also, they showed off one of the different powers in the trailer, and like Mega Man could summon like four like clumps of like concrete and have them drop from the ceiling. Like he
Weird.
could just summon. It was weird. It was weird looking, but I was kind of
It
interested in
kind
it.
of
I was like,
reminds me of
huh,
the
that's
Guts Man power where he like drops the rock and then throws it and it like breaks on the wall and it falls from the ground, or falls to the
yeah.
ground.
I vaguely remember
Yeah,
this.
that was
Kind
Mega
of.
Man 1.
Okay. That make that I never actually played Mega Man 1, but I watched a little bit of it, and
That's the
that
famous
sounds
one because it has
vaguely
Cutman in
familiar.
it, the best Mega Man villain ever made, because he's
Nice.
got the most OP weapon ever.
All right. So I don't know what else to say about Mega Man. I like Mega Man. I'm
Yeah.
excited for for the new game. I'm excited for the remasters or whatever.
Always excited to see a good
So
franchise continue to be good, I guess.
yeah. Speaking of Sonic, let's come on, Sonic. You can do it,
Jesus
right?
Christ. I don't. Okay, you know what? We're taking an aside to talk about Sonic for a second because I know
Okay. All
at
right.
this
Sure.
point it's not even beating the dead horse. It's like beating the skeletal remains of the dead horse. But like, they Sonic Mania was good. Like people liked it. Why did they not just continue doing those? Like
I have no
I
idea.
don't understand.
I gave up on Sonic like years ago, so I don't even know what the new
But
games
but
are
Adam,
about anymore.
like,
I don't follow it.
okay, well
I
Sonic
stopped.
Mania was basically like a love note to classic Sonic. It was 2D and side scrolly, and it was basically just like Sonic 1 again, or Sonic 2. I guess it was Sonic 2 because Tails was in it, but it was just that again. You ran sideways
Yeah.
and bounced on things and collected rings, and people really liked it, and it was really good from what I hear. I'm not a Sonic fan anyway, so I didn't play it, but from what I hear, it was good, and people really didn't have much to complain about, unless you hated Sonic already. So it's like,
Whoa.
who the
Okay. Yeah.
like what what person who calls themselves a business professional would say we have made a successful product after fucking who knows how long of whiffs. Let's go ahead and try something else. And actually,
I
not
don't
even
know.
something else. Let's just go back to the thing that people didn't like. Okay, do you know anything about New Coke? You know what New Coke is?
No,
Okay,
I don't.
well,
Wait, kinda,
Okay,
sorta.
well,
I don't know.
Coca-Cola
Why?
decided to change their formula once, and they called it New Coke, and it sucked balls. So they changed it back. That's why all the Coke cans say Coke Classic on it, because that's the original flavor, not the new Coke. That's what happened here,
I,
except that they just stuck with New Coke. And they
oh.
continued, they didn't reverse. They had shit for a while, then they struck gold with Coke Classic, and it was like, oh my god, I remember that this didn't taste like shit all along. And then they went back to putting muddy rainwater in it, and I don't understand. Like,
I don't know,
it
man.
actually baffles
I don't
me.
know. I don't know what to tell you. Sonic is completely like I've heard so many bad things about Sonic, and I've played so few decent Sonic games. And I played a few. I played a couple of them, but like they weren't good enough for me to care. So I just gave up on the whole thing. I mean, fuck it. Like I still play Mario games. I still play. I would like to continue playing Mega Man games. I just Sonic. I'm done. Like I'm done. Like they broke me.
What
Like
was the
I have
last Sonic game you played?
so little interest. The last Sonic game I played, I played some of the werewolf one, whatever that one was called.
Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Okay.
Yeah, I played
For
some of
the
that one.
Wii, that's as far back as you go,
Yes.
huh? Alright,
Yes,
the last
that was the one.
Sonic game I played, I don't remember what the name was, but it was for the Game Boy Advance. And I could tell you the character roster, and I could tell you about the game, but that was it, dude. I've played maybe 3 Sonic games in my entire life. And that was the last one I
there
played.
was I went to like a camp one time when I was in like high school, like over the summer, and I won a Sonic game on the 3D, or no, the DS as a prize. I played some of that one. I never finished it, but I played it for like a good like 10 hours, I think. Like it was I put a solid amount of time in it before I decided to give up and hate it. Which is
Because
what I ended
the
up.
only
I don't
ones
even know the name of it. I have no idea what game that was. All I know is I didn't like it very much and I stopped playing it.
Okay. The only Sonic games that I've ever played was Sonic Adventure 2, and I never finished it. Sonic Heroes, which I also never finished, but that's from what I hear, that one sucks anyway, so we don't have to finish that one. And whatever that DS one was, or Game Boy Advance one. I finished that one though. I actually did make it through that one with all the characters, but that nets you nothing. But I did it. But mostly because every other character in those games is way easier to play than Sonic, because Sonic has no special abilities that make him good things. You know, like, oh, okay, I'll be Tails and fly over the map, or I'll be Knuckles and climb everything, or I'll be Cream and literally stand in one place and kill all the bosses because I don't have to move to attack things. But whatever. I don't know. Sonic baffles me on like a metaphysical level. Like, I think Sonic is either on another dimensional plane of thinking, like we just couldn't comprehend its decisions, like it's playing the long game, you know? Like in 100 years, Sega's gonna come out with like the most immaculate game ever and take all the world's money because we've been so drowned in shit Sonic games that when one finally comes out, it's going to cause everyone to have explosive orgasms.
Oh my god.
Like the Dalai Lama's gonna ring a magic bell and all of a sudden the Sonic's gonna be amazing. I don't know.
Oh my god. Maybe Steve. Maybe the next one. Maybe they'll reboot it again. Call it let's say Sonic.
Genesis Revelations.
Yes, Sonic. Revelation. No, I'm not a huge Revolution. Revolution. I prefer that
Dance Dance Mario mix.
Sonic Speed Revolution.
There you go. 2.
There you go.
Because the first one's gonna suck, but the second one will be good.
No. They're not even gonna make a first one. They're just gonna start at 2.
Well, if we're doing that, just start at 7. Like, make everyone think that the other ones were like only released in another country or something. Make people scour the internet with where is Sonic Speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh my god!
For a whole
we're
month,
moving on
that's
now.
gonna be people's search history.
We're just shit talking now. Like we're not even talking about anything. We're moving on.
Okay, sorry.
And
sorry,
we don't
everybody.
have any more news. We don't have any more news. So we're now going to do my humble opinion. Do you have a humble opinion?
I have no free time, but I did actually manage to finish Stick of Truth.
Okay. Did you want to talk about it?
It's good.
Okay.
That's
wow.
I mean, it's well, all right, fuck you, man. I mean, okay, if you basically if you like South Park, you're gonna like that game because it's basically just an episode of South Park you get to be in. It's got all the jokes and all the comedic timing of an episode of South Park. Just, you know, you get to interact with it, and that's cool. And I started up the Fractured Butthole, and I'm enjoying that one so far as I've played it. You get to be a superhero in that one. I made myself a goth kid, and I gave myself fire powers, so I like to pretend that his fire is powered by angst. That's the story I'm going with. But
that's great.
I'm not that far into it, so I can't talk about that one. But I guess Stick of Truth is good. It's good stuff, man.
Well,
and it's really easy. I don't think I ever lost. So
really?
Wow. Okay. I mean, at certain points you just get so jacked that like it's impossible to lose. You know, I lost. That's not true. I actually did lose a couple fights against Al Gore because I wasn't high enough level to fight him yet. But he was the only one I ever lost to, and I basically just upgraded my stuff and went back and kicked his ass. But even the final boss against evil Princess Nazi Zombie Kenny, not difficult. So, if you're looking for an interactive episode of South Park that you can basically walk through if you're playing properly, then that's the game for you, I guess.
Well, all right. Anything? Well, it's hard for me to talk about this.
In my humble opinion, those things I said.
Oh yeah, sure. So I've been reading the audiobook version.
You're not reading it then.
Well, shut up, Steve. I like audiobooks because I can do things like I can drive while listening. I can do the dishes. Like I can do chores while listening to my books. It's
I'm,
nice.
I'm not
I
shit talking
enjoy it.
audiobooks, man. I'm all
Okay,
about
but
not having
fine.
to read.
I don't. Fine. I am enjoying hearing. It's from a certain point of view, which is a anthology Star Wars book. It is 40 short stories retelling the story of A New Hope from the perspective of background characters. And each short story is from a different perspective. And it's a very, very mixed
That
bag.
sounds
Like,
interesting or boring as shit.
see, that's the thing, is some of the stories are amazing and I love them and I can't stop thinking about them, and some of them are fucking stupid and I don't want to ever like think about them again, and I want to pretend that they're not canon. So let me just break this down.
Can I get some examples of
All right. One of my absolute favorite ones is a Qui-Gon Jinn story.
Ooh.
It was really interesting the way they did it. So it was established at the end of Revenge of the Sith that Qui-Gon Jinn is alive in the Force. They actually say his name, and they're just like, and he's been trying to make contact with them.
Oh, okay.
And it's implied that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan actually were able to speak to each other and communicate during Obi-Wan's like 20-year whatever you want to call it.
Right, sure.
Exile.
I was gonna say babysitting, but yeah.
That works too. It's implied that they had some communication. So after Luke runs off to go and see what happened to his aunt and uncle, Obi-Wan talked to Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon, and they had this kind of final conversation where Obi-Wan knew that he was very probably going to die very soon. And Qui-Gon tried to reassure him and tell him that it's okay. This is the right path. Like, Luke's story doesn't end here. You've done everything right. Blah blah blah. But what's really interesting about it is the perspective of the story is from Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon's thoughts on Obi-Wan are so amazing and fascinating. And they really do more for Obi-Wan as a character than they do for Qui-Gon. So Qui-Gon has this great little inner monologue where he's talking about the fact that a lesser person, when put in the situation that Obi-Wan was put in, everything that Obi-Wan ever knew was gone. Every person that Obi-Wan ever truly cared about died in front of him, or went so crazy, stupid, evil that they were basically lost forever, as far as Obi-Wan
just
knew,
that one
least.
guy. I mean,
okay, but there are three people that Obi-Wan cared about. Satine, this was in the Clone Wars TV show. She was murdered right in front of him.
Satine?
She's the Queen of Mandalore. Don't fucking worry about it.
All right.
Okay.
Was he hitting that, or?
They almost hit it. Apparently, it was a woman that he loved, and
that's a path to the dark side. So
when he was much younger, he considered leaving the Jedi Order in order to be with her, but they both decided that was not the right path, and that this is all ties back into Obi-Wan's character, which is that he's such a good quality person that he's tempted, all of this horrible shit happens to him, but it never breaks him. He spent 20 years sitting in the desert basically doing nothing, and he was still the same person he always was at the end of it. Most people, they would turn bitter, and they'd become cranky and shitty and they'd become they'd go
scum
to
and villainy.
Yeah, they'd go to the dark side. Any person would do that. Any person would become bitter
Can I have a thing
all
real
this
quick
time.
About Qui-Gon? Sure. Wasn't it said that Qui-Gon was suspected to be a bad guy, or was that not a thing? Did I mishear that?
No, he wasn't suspected to be a bad guy. It was more that he questioned the Jedi Council more than he should have.
Which is a path to the dark side.
No, it's not actually. In many ways, the Jedi Council was almost going to the dark side themselves. They just didn't really know it.
Well, that's because basically everything is a path to the dark side.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, So this Qui-Gon story, which kind of explored Obi-Wan's character, was absolutely amazing, and I loved every second of it. Also, we got probably my least favorite story. I haven't finished this, by the way. I'm like 2/3 of the way through this book.
Oh, so
it's very, very
favorite and least favorite subject to change.
Yeah. So yes, but currently my favorite story is the Qui-Gon story, and my least favorite story is a story from the perspective of a mouse droid.
Those little black wheelie things?
Yeah, those little black wheelie things. Yeah, those
things. They have
things.
personalities and consciousness to have perspectives?
Not exactly. Okay, not exactly. So, fun fact. You know the mouse droid that Chewie saw on the Death Star?
And then it whistles and runs away?
Yeah, that one.
That one?
Turns out that mouse droid was there in order to try to make contact with its master, who Luke and Han had killed in order to steal his armor. The reason that he was trying to make contact with his master is that Grand Moff Tarkin, or at least a character who is very much implied to be Grand Moff Tarkin, was having a romantic relationship with this stormtrooper, and Grand Moff Tarkin had sent the mouse droid to fetch him so they could have hot gay sex right after Tarkin blew up Alderaan. But because he had already been killed by Luke and Han, that wasn't able to happen.
Oh, all right. Hold the fucking space phone. So, okay.
It's so stupid.
So, all right,
hang
so
on. Bad.
So the stormtroopers that investigate the Millennium Falcon and then die.
Yep.
So that Luke and Han can steal their armor.
One of them was gay.
Was pounding it with another another crew member, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yes.
That's a huge thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
And he sent his wheelie box droid to go find that guy on duty, apparently, to go whistle at him, and that was the secret code for meet me in the broom closet. Like, everything you just told me is stupid, Adam.
Yes, it is, Steve. Yes, it is. Ooh, would you like more?
Can I have more?
I'm going to give you more. My second least favorite story is from the perspective of the trash monster.
What?
Who is sentient.
Of course he is.
And force sensitive. And the reason that
my mistake, madam.
The reason that she grabbed Luke and pulled him underwater was because she was baptizing him because she recognized that he was also force sensitive.
Fuck right off with that.
It's so dumb. I can't believe that any
the trash
person
compactor
thought that
monster
this was a good idea.
who hangs out and presumably eats garbage was just waiting to baptize Luke in the water of the garbage to be a holy Jedi warrior in the name of Christ or whatever. Or whoever, Space Pope. And was she there on purpose or does she just live there?
No. She was abducted from her homeworld by the Empire because they needed something to eat the organic matter in their trash.
Just throw it into space.
I agree with you. I don't understand it, but whatever.
Wow. Well, thank God she was there to baptize Luke, or who knows what force powers he wouldn't have.
Okay, and this is the thing. Okay, this is such a stupid thing because that's not how force powers work.
No, it's not, Adam.
They don't get activated. They're always there. Like that's just not how it works at all. And she literally says, like, she pulls him under and she says that, like, she can sense like a piece of him, like a husk falling off of him. That's how she describes it. Like the idea that he is now awakened in some capacity. And that's not how it works. That's not how it's ever been established to work. It goes against everything that I understand and that has been written about force sensitivity.
This is canon now, right? This new canon?
Okay, it's complicated because this book, like this 40 story book, is sort of canon. Like, this is the only one with when someone asked them, is this book canon, they said, kind of.
You don't get to go halfway on that kind of thing.
I agree. I don't like the way they handled it. But yeah, basically they said it is sort of canon. It's some of the stories are considered canon, but some of them are not.
Which
But they didn't
ones?
specify
Was the
which ones.
baptizing
They didn't.
space garbage monster canon? Was the shoebox droid canon?
I choose to believe that it wasn't.
I'm cool with the Qui-Gon one, but
yeah, me too.
That's oh
me
my
too.
God.
I like the Qui-Gon. See, oh god, it's so bad, but it's also so good. This whole book is such a mixed bag. There's a bunch of Mos Eisley stories too, and some of them
about
are
what,
really
random
good.
Villagers?
About the bartender at the bar that they were at.
About holy shit, that guy's
about...
arm just got cut off. I should kick those guys out of my bar.
Yeah, basically.
Or about the band that plays the one
There's
song.
one about. Oh, yep. No. There is one about the band.
Oh,
yes,
my
there
God.
is.
So if I were to watch like the original trilogy or something and just go through this, would I be able to pick out all the characters that had a perspective story in this world? Like, did Pignose and his brother from Hoth have a story yet?
No, but they were in several of the stories.
Okay.
They didn't have their own
because Robot Chicken already did that one.
I know.
Yeah,
and it was great. And what's the other one that I had to mention?
Did we get a Yoda on Dagobah?
Actually, there is one, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I just know that there is one because I read stuff about things relating to Star Wars. But yeah, there is a Yoda story on Dagobah. And
is there going to be one on Alderaan before Alderaan explodes?
I remember. Oh yes, there was one on Alderaan that was from the perspective of Leia's mom. That one was actually really good. I liked that.
And then she looked up and saw, hey, that sun's getting awfully bright, and then she burst into flames, right?
I mean, there was more to it than that, but she was with her husband, and they saw like the giant battle station over their planet, and then the husband was just like, "Oh shit, that's the Death Star."
Quick,
and
fire our sun to
then she was
Earth.
like, "What is?" She was like, he's like, "Oh shit, that's a Death Star," and she's just like, "What is the Death Star?" And he's like, "It's a planet-destroying battle station." And then she's just like, "Oh shit, what can we do?" And he's just like, "Nothing at all. We're already dead." Yeah. And then they died like 2 minutes after that.
Oh well.
But they held each other as they died.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was a very sad moment. It was well written. I liked that story. It was fine. It didn't break canon like the Trash Monster story.
No, actually, that's a perfectly acceptable aside to have that I wouldn't have thought impacted anything. However, gonna have to put a kibosh on the whole Trash Monster baptism. Can't let that one slide.
Oh God.
Or the wheelie droid.
And there's also a story from the perspective of the. I don't know if you know this, but you know the stormtrooper who bangs his head.
Yeah. That guy got a story.
You know about, there's a story about that. There's a story about the guy who banged his head.
Really? Was it like, oh shit, I'm so embarrassed when Darth Vader shows up?
Like, not exactly, but sorta.
Oh my God.
There's one from the I cannot speak. There's one from the perspective of the people that Han talks to on the intercom, you know, where he's like,
boring
everything's fine
anyway.
here, everything's good. How are you? Yeah, that one. Yeah, there's a one from their perspective. There's one from the perspective of a Tusken Raider. There's a Tusken Raider one. There's a Jawa one. There's one from the captain of the ship that is blown up at the beginning. You know the guy who Vader chokes out in the very beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
There's one from his perspective.
Was it like an anime? Yeah. Like, yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation.
No, it wasn't like that. It was actually I didn't like that story very much, mostly because it was just boring. Like, I knew it was going to happen. Like, the whole thing was leading up to him getting choked out by Vader, and I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't care. Like, I was just like, yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. Yep. Do they explicitly state who these characters are supposed to be before the story starts? Or you just kind of figure it out from context?
Well, most of them are written from third person, so it's just like, you know, so-and-so, Captain Antilles was...
okay. I thought these were like all
blah,
monologues,
blah, blah, blah.
like, you know, hey, I'm the bartender and this is my story or something. Or, hey, I'm the space garbage monster and here's my story.
Most of them aren't from first person perspective.
What is the garbage monster from? What race is she?
I don't remember. I remember she had a name that I completely blocked from my memory. I don't remember what it was.
Is there one about Boba Fett in the Sarlacc pit?
No, because that happens. That that happens in Return of the Jedi. This is all about A New Hope,
Oh,
so
okay.
that happens much
All right,
later.
never mind.
There is one about Boba Fett. There is one about Boba Fett was there at the when the special edition when Han meets Jabba right outside of his ship. Remember that?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah. Boba Fett was there, and there was one detailing that
Oh,
exchange from
was
his
there one
perspective.
about? And this is the wrong movie again, but I was kind of hoping there'd be one about Jabba. But the second he was choked out by Leia and he has an explosive orgasm, because I feel like Jabba's into that
Actually,
kind of thing.
I actually, as much as I'm complaining about this, I actually do want them to what am I trying to say? To make more. Like I want another one retelling the events of Empire Strikes Back and another one retelling the events of Return of the Jedi. I hope that it doesn't end
I
here.
mean, it does. It does sound interesting. It's just that a
It is
lot of
interesting.
those characters I do not need the backstory of.
My another one that was surprisingly good. I went into it expecting nothing from it, but it was actually really good. Was the one like the elephant guy who like talks into his communicator on Mos Eisley? Remember that guy?
Yes,
He's
actually, I do.
Yeah, he's wearing like little goggles and he's like wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah, he has his own story.
Thank God.
It's as like I said, it's surprisingly a good story.
Is there one about the? Damn it, that's the wrong movie again. I was gonna say, is there one about the Wampa, but that's the wrong movie. Never mind.
Yep. Let me think. I don't like the ones. I was really into the book for a while, but once you get to like the Death Star, and there's a ton of Imperial ones that are just boring. Like I just don't.
Yeah, I actually don't care about
shit.
the random numbers on the yeah. Those don't interest me.
Oh, and another thing that bothers me about the mouse droid one, I don't like hate the idea of a story from the mouse droid's perspective, but the mouse droid has a very limited intelligence, so it keeps repeating the same things. Like it's just like what is it? It's like designation mouse droid 1218. Assigned trash compactor 29.
Okay, no, hang on a minute. How come?
But it says that like 30 times.
How come
like,
this thing is so stupid as to only have basic functions of like Wall-E droids, but it's smart enough to know to run away from Chewbacca when he growls at it. It's not.
Oh, it has. They mention it. They say that like it's just like it's like scanning. Imminent threat detected. Activate self-defense. Yeah, activate self-defense protocols, and then it's like up, and then it's run, and like forever, like run. Threat not detected. Resume normal activities. Like, it's fucking
but
dull.
Shouldn't its normal activity
oh my god.
be back to go find that stormtrooper again, thus repeating the cycle of running away and coming back?
Well, actually, you'd think that, but I think what ended up happening was he ran into something or like there was some sort of blast or something and he got knocked out.
The mouse droid did.
The mouse droid got
knocked unconscious. They gave
knocked
the
unconscious.
Robot a concussion.
It turned off. Whatever.
Oh, so he backed into his power button.
It's like if I have a computer and I just throw it onto the floor and then it just like breaks.
Well, all right. Well, that would make sense. I suppose.
I mean, like, don't think about it too hard, Steve.
How could I?
I don't need to go. I don't want to go into all of the stories because there's a lot of them. But suffice to say that some of them are great. Some of them are fucking awful, and some of them are just plain boring. And just like, oh, that character, oh. But I do like it. I think it's fun to like hear about all these different perspectives on like events that I know what's going on already. And I also think it was really cool the way they did the audiobook where like almost every story has a different narrator. So like sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman. The Boba Fett story was narrated by John Hamm, which was super awesome.
Really?
I
Wow.
loved that. Yeah, it was really cool, and he did a good job with it too. Like it's cool. Like I like the idea behind it, even if some of the stories are lackluster.
I feel like if I was in charge of narrating the story about the mouse droid, I feel like I would be able to make it through the whole thing. I would think I would skim as I was reading. I'd have to stop. Like, can we can we stop for a second? This isn't really the story. This isn't Star Wars, right? I'm not on Punked or something, you know?
That's how I feel about the Trash Monster one. The Mouse Droid one is just dumb. The Trash Monster one is insulting. Like, it's like, this is so stupid. How did anybody think this was a good idea to write this?
Thanks, Lucas.
Oh God. Anyway, so in my humble opinion, it's a mixed bag, but the good outweighs the bad, in my opinion.
Well, good. That Qui-Gon one seems interesting. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah. Okay, so we are now going to move on to Random Encounters. That is the part of the show where we pick two sort of random characters, put them in a random encounter or challenge, and decide who would win. And it's all for fun. Don't think about it too hard. We just want to do it because it's enjoyable. I like to pick things based on what we talked about in this episode. Mega Man. I want Mega Man. I don't know which one. I'm going to go with the OG Mega Man. The original.
All right,
the
Rock.
best.
Got it. All right, well, I got Yamcha. All right. So, and the challenge is, who's more likely to win the Hunger Games? See, now this is interesting, because do we go by Yamcha's actual ability or his reputation? Because if we're going by reputation...
What is his actual ability?
Yamcha, well, if we're going reputation, Yamcha would die immediately. If we're going by actual power set, Yamcha would school every single one of those regular humans. So,
yeah,
I mean, he can shoot ki out of his hands. That's enough for any normal person. Ki blast to the forehead, you're done.
But he's also a fucking dumbass.
He is,
so
but you don't have to be smart when you can shoot literal lasers from your hands. Also, he has one he can steer with his mind. He can just send it around the circle and clothesline everybody and wrap up shop. Like that's it. He's done. He won the game.
Fine, but Mega Man has a blaster that he can shoot.
No, see, that's just it. That's where it comes into play, because either one of them individually would totally win. But I don't know who would win. Okay, well, are we including Mega Man's alternate abilities, like his Robot Master powers, or are we just making stock Mega Man Buster Charge Shot?
I don't know.
I think for fairness, it would have to be just Mega Man. Otherwise, he'd have like a suite of so many powers.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should just go with OG Mega Man. But even so, OG Mega Man fought like all kinds of monsters. He takes on like crazy powerful bosses and wins.
He does. Like, that's true.
Does Yamcha ever win a fight?
No, not really.
Okay.
Well, in Dragon Ball, but in Dragon Ball Z, which is what really matters, he died to a Cyberman. He
died,
which was he was the only one to do so. And
I remember that.
Wow, did he? Jesus Christ, I don't think he's beaten anybody. Because he wasn't part of the Frieza saga. In the Android saga, he got snuck up from behind and mouth fucked until he was drained. He basically died on that one too, because he got his shoulder punched in and there was a big hole in his heart. He wasn't even part of the Cell games because he was spending the entire time babysitting Goku. No, he didn't do anything important. He's never won.
I will acknowledge the fact that Yamcha is dealing with threats that are insane.
Yeah.
At least compared to like Mega Man. Mega Man's just dealing with like robots and stuff.
Yeah,
whereas Yamcha's
the Robot Masters are tough.
Interplanetary.
But from the perspective of Mega Man, like I feel like Yamcha could beat the Robot Masters by virtue of just being better than them, you know?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I feel like Yamcha would have a hard time with that. Like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Most of their abilities are steeped in some sort of like physical thing, you know, like Gutsman throws rocks or Cutman throws blades. None of those things would really work on Yamcha because he's like a martial artist that can fly, literally fly.
Fine. He died to a Cyberman.
He did do that. That's true. But we have to weigh if a Cyberman is equal or less than a Mega Man. And we don't have any way of knowing that.
I would say that Cyberman is less than Mega Man. Just
but
my gut
at what point what Yamcha are we using though? Because if we're using that Yamcha, then probably Mega Man. But if we're using like late game Yamcha, like when he's a little better, I mean, he
Well,
basically peaked at that point, but
by that argument, do we use late game Mega Man when he has a bunch more powers?
well, all right.
I mean, that's the same argument, wouldn't you say?
I'm still saying that Yamcha would be more okay. I guess we're not really doing this fair because it's Mega Man and Yamcha winning the Hunger Games, not beating each other at the Hunger Games, and I think they would both win. They would both be equally good at winning that. So
I'd still say Mega Man because Mega Man's not a dumbass like Yamcha, and Mega Man actually can win fights.
But again, I'd point out that you don't have to be smart when you can shoot literal laser beams. You know, like it doesn't.
Okay, but see, here's the thing: they both can shoot literal laser beams.
Yes, that's true.
Let's say, for the sake of argument, that they are on approximately the same level, at least in the sense that they could completely decimate all of the other fucking children.
All right, fair enough.
Okay,
that's fair. Yeah,
they're on the same level.
Pitchforks and bows and arrows.
Yeah, yeah. So they're
actually,
equal there.
You know what?
However, Mega Man is smarter. Yamcha is less smart.
You know what? I don't even think it matters that much. Here's why I think actually that Mega Man wins, because Yamcha is technically still mortal and could still be taken out by an arrow to the face. Mega Man could not, because he's a robot or an android or whatever, right? Whatever he is.
That's a good point too.
So, by virtue of flesh and blood, I think Yamcha loses the fight because of stray shots, basically.
Sure. Okay, so Mega Man wins. Yes! Means I won this one. Okay, so now I'm going to pick. Oh God, let's go with Infinity War. Let's go. No, I don't want to say Thanos. That's too OP. I don't like doing that. I'm gonna go with Captain America. Captain America.
All right.
Yeah.
I got Lion-O. All right, and the challenge is who's better at Guitar Hero? This is stupid.
This is a really hard. Yeah, this doesn't really work. I mean, okay, Captain America has almost no experience with technology, especially video games. So I feel like he'd have a hard time with Guitar Hero at first.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But
I also feel like they don't have anything even like that in whatever the planet Lion-O's on. I forgot what the planet's called, but Lion-O's ability set does not lend him good Guitar Hero abilities.
No, not.
I mean, neither does Captain America's really.
Not really.
Damn.
I mean, Captain America is most well known for throwing a shield.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't really require a lot of dexterity.
Best known for swinging a sword and making it grow. But, I mean...
Yeah, but I feel like swordplay requires more, like finger dexterity than shield throwing.
However, Lion-O has the mind of like a 12-year-old. Because he's actually literally a child that's body was aged.
I did not know this.
So
that's interesting.
That could either be an advantage or a disadvantage. If we assume that he's played video games before because they have machines in his world, then that would give him a distinct, I don't know.
Wait, so there are machines in the Lion-O world?
Yes, there's like
I would say that gives him a huge advantage just because Captain America, we've never really seen him deal with technology in any significant way.
Yeah,
other than I guess the only exception to that would be in Avengers when it's just like, pull the red wire.
Okay, well
this red wire
it appears to run on some matter of electricity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the line.
I mean, are we using movie Captain America or comic book Captain America?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say movie.
Okay.
Movie
well,
Captain
then
America.
I would probably give it to Lion-O because Captain America does not seem like the type to do that, and he
also I feel like would not want to try.
No, probably
he'd
not.
Just be like, this is stupid.
Unless he could just play Born in the USA over and over and over again. Or some other patriotic
Whereas
songs.
Lion-O has the mind of a 12-year-old, so he'd probably be like, "Oh man, Guitar Hero, this is awesome."
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're going by he should be playing games because he's 12, then maybe that gives him some sort of advantage. I mean, yeah, he's got claw hands, but maybe he could still do it.
Yeah. All right, so I say Lion-O.
All right, cool.
I think he would win this.
Lion-O it is.
Okay, So I gotta do one more tiebreaker combo breaker. Oh shit. I don't want to do Harley Quinn. I've done Harley Quinn before, and that's boring. I'm gonna go with 11 from Stranger Things.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got 100 Goombas.
I love that one.
Yeah, me too. All right. Okay. So the challenge is dance off.
Uh,
11 doesn't know
well,
how to dance. She said so. End of the episode.
Damn it.
Season 2. She doesn't know how to dance.
yeah,
I
but
win.
Goombas only know how to walk in a straight line.
Yeah, but in New Super
They're
Mario,
not dancing.
But in New Super Mario Bros, all the enemies dance along to the level background music. So he's got rhythm.
Fuck.
All the Goombas have
Well-
rhythm. Plus they're coordinated, which gives you bonus points because everything looks better when it's in a group. So, factually, scientifically proven, Goombas are better dancers than 11.
I'm so mad about this. Yeah, you win.
Haha.
I mean, 11 is we literally know 11 doesn't dance. Like she dances once and she says outright that she's never done
And
it
it wasn't
before,
really
so.
dancing. It's like 6th grade sway back and forth dancing. Like,
The way you said that, I was just thinking it's falling with style. Like, okay, so all right, you won.
hell yeah.
Shucks. Okay, so those are the complaints this week. If you can't complain, share it with your friends. Bye.